Now, I am delighted to say that as we kick off a new series, our first series of Stan and Oli, we are joined by multiple champion trainer Paul Nicholls, who is with us on the line now. Paul, good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. We probably caught you at a good time, given there's not been much racing at the moment, so you're probably sort of twiddling your thumbs at the moment.
Yeah, evening, guys. I know, look, there's plenty to do. Whether you race or not, every day, been busy this week, salting the roads, making sure the gallops are still usable. Everyone's, got stuck in and have to keep everything going, whether you're racing or not. In fact, racing is probably a day off.
Could I, just on that, this is not where I expected my sort of second question to go, to be honest, but you're obviously in Ditcheat, which is a kind of rural village in Somerset. Are you having to sort of sweep the roads, grit the roads, whatever, to make sure it's safe for them? Are you having to do that yourself? That's not the sort of council's responsibility or anything? No,
council, we never see any gritters around here at all, so we have to do it all ourselves. So we go around, we bought a gritter, so we go around the night before, and then in the morning, if we're not up, we go around and do it again. Like this morning was the worst frost we've had for a long time after the rain, so we had to delay riding out till 8 o'clock and resort the road. So we have to do all that ourselves before we can go out and make sure everything's safe.
The village must love you.
Well, yeah, except that we only stop where we go. We don't do it all. But, in around the village, basically, and we share a lot of the workload with the barbers because obviously they need the tankers coming in with the milk and the farm vehicles as well. But we just make sure it's safe wherever we go. You just can't take chances. And this morning was as bad as I've seen it, on top of that rain.
And what does I mean, obviously it goes without saying, you've got multiple gallops where you are, but what does it do to your ability to work horses how you would want to this time of year when the weather's as bad as it is?
That's made no difference to us. Rob, our gallops man, has been flat out doing that. And because the all-weathers are fairly dry at the moment, when they freeze is when they get really damp, but they're fairly dry. So we've been able to keep all the gallops open and just carried on as usual. You wouldn't be schooling too many. Because where we do the jumping, that's frozen solid. But, I mean, work-wise, no problem at all. I haven't missed anything.
And are you still, Paul, operating as normal as we would associate you in January? Vaccination time, you might perhaps go away for a little bit, or are you going to have a busier January than we've become accustomed to seeing from Ditcheat?
Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of them had their flu jabs back along, and we've just tried to work it in over a sort of month period. Some will get them when they've run and planned others. So we're just, rather where we normally stop for a fortnight, 3 weeks, we're going to keep going. A lot of horses haven't run that much yet because, for reasons and weather. So we'll just keep ticking over on anything. Like, for example, No Drama this end. He's had a run. We know he's not going to go until March, so he's having a little break. So you can just work accordingly. But, at the moment, we're going to keep going.
When you look back at the kind of Christmas period for you and the team, obviously No Drama this end, the standout, but you also had that good win with Manila Yoga. Do you look back on it as a successful Christmas for you and the team?
Yeah, I mean, any time you win a Grade 1 over Christmas is good. And, we have plenty of winners over Christmas. The horses have been running really well. And, we enjoyed it.
The interview after Manila Yoga got plenty of people talking because it was very clear, and rightly so. I loved it, by the way. It was very clear how much that win meant to you, and there was obvious reasons for that. Do you feel like, given the sort of the knocks that you had maybe at the start of the year 8 months ago or so, do you feel like that has given you added fuel and incentive to go out there and do what you're doing this season, train winners, and almost prove, not that you really need to prove a point given your CV, but do you feel like you have to prove a point in a way?
No, not really. I mean, we're still as competitive as ever. All we want to do is win. It's just having the right horses in your team. And that day, obviously, I brought Active Innocence back along and won a bumper with him. And no, he's a very smart horse. So when you buy a nice one like Manila Yoga for Michael Gagan, who's been investing in us heavily, he's got some lovely horses to go and win first time out, was ideal. I thought he was a smart horse. I thought he'd go very well. But obviously, forgetting what you beat, was delighted that he won.
I thought your comments about Paul Barber were very interesting. I know it was a few weeks ago now, dealing with people, and perhaps you'd have kept certain people in the yard if he was still with you. And I think that was something that was probably lost on us, Paul, a good few years ago, was how influential he was.
Paul was very influential, as you know, all my career. He was a great man, and everyone had a lot of time and a lot of respect for him, and listened to him, and he was a big help to me. But over recent events, we're not going to look back now. We look forward, and what's happened. And, as I said, we just want to move forward and crack on and just, we've been buying some lovely young horses. We'll keep doing that again, and we'll always do the best we can.
I know it's very dangerous, particularly in light of what happened a few weeks ago, to go off tweets and sort of the rumour mill in racing. But Harry Cobden's a big part of your team. There was a few tweets going around about possibly JP McManus, etc. He's riding a bit for Willie as well, as we know. You did it with Ruby, and I'm not going to ask you about the situation with Harry directly, but do you think that in this day and age with your yard and your stable jockey, like logistically it's possible for a jockey to have kind of two roles, if you like, or can you only as a jockey in this day and age really be attached to one person, one owner, one yard?
Well, look, Aaron's been here since he was 16, and he's built his career around working for us. But I try working with Harry as best I can, and I work with Sam, his agent. So if I can let him off horses to ride things, he's got a better chance, or ride some for Emma, whoever it is, then I do so. But if we need him, we just go on as we got a gentleman's agreement. There's no retainer, and obviously the better Harry does for everybody, I'm glad to see it, and it's great that he can pick up spares for Willie as he has done.
Do you know if there is any truth to those rumours going around?
There's always rumours going around about everything, so you take everything with a pinch of salt. But we just keep our head down and crack on and train as many winners as we can, and I'll always help Harry. And this time last year or whatever, early in the season, he was going to be riding for Willie this season. All sorts of things gets around, but. We're happy with the situation we're in. We help him, he helps us, and it's been a fantastic relationship. He was champion jockey, been based here. He's won all those good winners, and he's done very, very well.
So Ryan Moore was going to get sacked by Aidan O'Brien a few years ago, Paul. There's always these rumours flying around. On gentleman's agreement, is that? I'm sort of surprised, I guess, by that. But have you always operated like that, Paul? Is that always been your way, sort of trust between yourself and your rider?
Yeah, no one's ever had a retainer. It's always been a gentleman's agreement, as it worked with Ruby, and you just try and work together. You've got something running, it's not likely to win, or your jockey can ride something else that could win. You try and help them, but you just got to work together, and that's what Harry and I have always done. That's what Ruby and I always did.
You've got a number of young jockeys coming through, as you always do at Ditcheat, and one of them is Freddie Keithley, who rides, I think Taunton's going to be on tomorrow, touch wood. Brave Knight, I think he's legged up on tomorrow for you. How impressed have you been by Freddie as a young rider coming through?
Yeah, well, Freddie's a good young rider. He's only 17, has been brought up with racing and horses in his background, and I actually let him have Samatergal a few years ago for his first schoolmaster when he was 16, which he won on. And he was always hopefully going to come here. When he started off, he's got a good family behind him. His dad does very well training and helps him. And, if he keeps his head down, works hard and keeps learning, he'll do very well. And, he makes mistakes. But when he's 17, you can only expect that. But he's got a great work ethic. He rides very well. He schools nicely. And, he's just, not being a rush, but it'll all work out for him, I'm sure.
He is one of the number of chances you've got at Taunton. You've got Calvino and Baby Ken. Great to have the Brookses back in racing. They went away for a couple of years. Nice to see their silks back on a race course. Pourquoi Papa and Brave Knight. Will you have a good day at Taunton tomorrow, do you think?
Yeah, it's good. Like you say, it's good to have Andrew and Kate Brooks back on board. He's got sort of 7 or 8 nice horses. He's been very patient and supported us very well. And, hopefully we can have some nice runs for him tomorrow. I'd like to think a horse called Baby Ken will run nicely. I think when he ran at Fontwell earlier in the season, he hadn't really acclimatised and the ground was shocking that day. He should run better. Calvino's got a chance. I think Himalaya's got a chance in the handicap hurdle. I think Brave Knight's probably got too much weight. He's isn't the best handicapped in the world. Pourquoi Pas Papa is declared Exeter on Friday. If we don't get the rain and Taunton's fast tomorrow, he definitely won't be running. He'll be waiting for Friday.
OK, good stuff. Thanks for whizzing through the Taunton runners. We've asked our viewers for some questions to you. We've got an email in for a question for Paul. Josh?
Yes, this comes in from Steve, Paul. He just really wants to know, particularly about the Lanzarote, but I guess more broadly, the weekend. What are you going to run if these meetings do go ahead?
Yeah, we're hoping Kempton goes ahead as a big meeting. I know it's sort of borderline at the moment, but let's all hope we get this rain and it sort of warms up before the weekend because it's a very important meeting. The Lanzarote is one of those things. If there was lots of rain and the ground went soft, Captain Teague will run. If it stays decent ground, Fazol will run, who won at Musselburgh the other day, and I think Just a Rose will run anyway.
Let's hope Kempton goes ahead. Barney Clifford didn't sound all that positive earlier on, but we'll see. Just wanted to ask you, we had Ollie Murphy on a few weeks ago, and he was talking about him training 4 miles away from Dan Skelton and how Warwickshire's never been so strong. I mean, the West Country, you've got loads of people around you, I know. Obviously, Harry Fry's not a million miles away, Philip Hobbs, plenty more. But do you feel these things are just cyclical, or is there anything on strength of location, of training yards and facilities, do you think, Paul?
Well, there's lots of great locations. Lambourne's obviously top of the list. The West Country's always had some fantastic trainers and done very well, led by Martin Pipe all these years ago. Now Dave, and there's plenty of good trainers. And now in Warwickshire, you obviously got the young guys, Dan and Ollie. It just, it's bound to go in circles. They're doing well. These are all good training centres, and everybody trains plenty of winners.
The other thing that's slightly cyclical as well is production line of horses. And we saw Max McNeil actually on ITV on the weekend talk about how he wants to really support British point-to-pointing. Will Biddick announced his retirement. I know he's been a massive part of your career and team and through the years. 2 questions really. Sort of a message to Will, because I know that he's, as I say, been a part of the team and been a tremendous jockey and buyer, etc. But also, do you see the British point-to-point scene? Do you see sort of green shoots there? Is it sort of is it a booming scene at the moment, and is it getting supported how it should, or are there areas of concern there?
I'm not sure it's booming. It's always been good horses to produce. You think back along Seymour Business, Cool Dawn, all those horses. So your Gold Cup winners started their career winning at Larkhill, and there's been many, many more. So it's always producing, good horses. Will's done a fantastic job for us. I've supported him as he supported us, and he's produced a lot of young horses for us. He has all the babies to break and get going, and then come over to us as the season goes on. So we work well together. Fantastic jockey. He's done very, very well. And I understand, why he's retired at the right time. And he's going to concentrate on his pre-training and his point-to-pointing, and he'll always be very successful.
Yeah, he's retired from the saddle, but it sounds like he's very much not retired from racing. He's going to be a big part of the team moving forward, which is great. Is
that the key, do you think, to... I know this is something you've touched on in the post a couple of weeks ago over the festive break, but closing that Britain and Ireland gap, is that a case of Britain needs to be producing better horses as opposed to you going shopping, if you like, over there and trying to get sort of first dibs on those best Irish pointers?
It's hard buying those horses, whether in France, Ireland or wherever, even in this country, it's very hard. But I think there's a lot of good young trainers in this country that have got a lot of support that are beginning to turn the corner a little bit. But it does go in cycles. I keep saying you're only as good as the players in your team. And that involves everybody in the UK. But I think we're looking stronger at the moment. I mean, we got some nice horses to run in the spring. Dan, Ollie, Ben Paulin, go on in on Harry Durham. There's lots of really good young trainers. They're getting some really nice horses and lots of support. So I think it's going to, it is go in cycles. And let's hope it's a positive for Britain, as it were, and we're going the right way.
A slightly left field question. You mentioned players in your team. And I know that Sir Alex Ferguson is a very good friend of yours, owner through the years. Have you sought his counsel? I know you have throughout your career, but have you lent on him and man, whatever it is, throughout this period? I wonder whether he's been a part of the conversation that you would have amongst friends in life, really, about where things are going broadly. Do you see what I mean? Is he someone you've lent on throughout your career, really?
I always chat to him and always, but to be honest with you, probably the person I talk to most and is probably my greatest friend in racing is Jed Mason. We're always chatting. If I need any advice or want an opinion or anything, I talk to Jed. And probably Max McNeil as well. I've got huge respect for Max. But Max and Jed and Michael Gagan. Michael Gagan's been really good to me. As I said, he's supporting us strongly. He's always a good person to talk to. But at the end of the day, I've got my family. Dad's behind us, 100% supportive behind us all the time. And Nana is right at my side, has been a big help to me. So you do need people. And Clifford as well, Clifford Baker, discuss things with him. But top of the list would be Jed Mason.
It's amazing that, and you've got a brilliant team. I mean, Clifford, I remember going down to film features when I was just starting out racing TV all those years ago, and you know, Clifford was there, and you know, it's great to see good horses in your yard, and you've got a really good one in No Drama This End. Just before we go, what is the plan for him between now and the festival, Paul?
He obviously goes straight to Cheltenham. He's come out of the race very, very well. He's cantered most days. Just had to do a little bit more with him today because he was getting fresh. So
Will he have an away day before Cheltenham?
Sorry?
Will he have an away day before Cheltenham?
Yeah, he'll go somewhere. He'll definitely, anything, if it goes from now to Cheltenham without a run, we'll definitely have an away day, proper gallop. I don't want to run him again. I don't need to. But, yeah, he's in good shape, and we just need everything to go right between now and March.
Well, the jump season is absolutely better off for you having a championship horse on your hands, and you've got one in No Drama This End. So, listen, best of luck with him and your other horses this season. Good luck at Taunton tomorrow. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. We covered a range of topics there. It went in various directions, but really appreciate your honest insight as always, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Guy. My pleasure.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.